The properties dialog has been in HexEdit since version 1.0 and is something that people have always loved, as it packs a huge amount of power in a small window. It allows you to look at and even modify data in a multitude of ways. One of the useful features of the properties dialog is that it is a so-called modeless dialog, which means that you can leave it open. It is always there when you need it. Like all modeless dialogs in HexEdit, it's dockable. I'll just have to turn on allow docking and I can dock it. But since I don't have much screen space for this demo, I'm going to leave it floating. You can just double click the title bar to dock or undock. I'll also turn off the option where floating dialogues move out of the way, because we just want to concentrate on the dialogue itself, not the data behind it. Okay. Most of the fields in the dialog show information about the bytes following the cursor. As you move the cursor around, the fields update to show the information for the current cursor location. You can also edit most of the fields, but as you can see at the moment all the fields are grey, indicating they can't be changed. This is because the window is read only. So I'll turn that off, and now you can see you can change the fields. If you start to enter a field and change your mind, you can just press the escape key, or if to confirm, just press enter. You'll note that the change bytes are selected. Of course you can undo all changes made. You can view or enter integers in many different formats. On the other pages there are also many options for different floating point formats and date formats. The byte page allows you to see the current byte in any character set. On the right you can see the current character in ASCII, in Unicode, or in any character set if you have the right code page selected. For example, there are many EBSTIC code pages. Actually, some of the fields relate to more than one byte, so it's a bit misnamed. The Unicode character set takes 2 bytes, and some of the multi-byte character set code pages may require more than 1 byte. So, for example, if you're only 1 byte from the end of file, the Unicode field is blank because it requires 2 bytes. You can change the value of the current byte in decimal, octal or binary. One cool feature is that you can double click any of the bits to toggle them. Now the first 2 pages of the dialog show information about the file itself, not data in the file like the other pages. The file page just shows the name of the file and the directory where it is stored, along with file system information such as the times created, accessed, etc. This text up in the right corner gives a description of the file, which Windows gets from the registry based on the file extension. Like all dialogs in HexEdit, you can get more information on a control or field by clicking the question mark and then clicking on a field or a control. These flags here also give information stored in the file system. You can find out lots of information about them in many places, but I'll just give a brief description now. Read only means that the file can't be modified. Hidden means that it doesn't appear in directory listings. System means it's a Windows system file, which probably means you shouldn't even touch it. The archive bit says that the file has been backed up. It's normally set by the backup software and cleared when the file is modified. You can change the read-only and hidden bits. Actually, I can show that in HexEdit Explorer. Go to Explorer and right-click a file, select Properties. You can change the properties with these bits. I'll just cancel that. Remember that all this information relates to the file as it exists on the disk, so even if you've changed bytes of the file in memory, the time of the last modification won't change until you actually write the file to disk. Actually, even then it won't change if you've got the keep same time option turned on. You may have noticed that the disk file length is not shown here. It's actually on the summary page. There are two lengths here, which is the length on disk and the length of the file as it exists in memory. Or they will be the same unless you've inserted or deleted bytes. The three main fields of the summary page allow you to store information about the file for your own use. Some people find it handy just to store notes here. The category is particularly interesting. But I can select from this drop-down list of existing categories, which avoids typos and having two slightly different names for the same category. Or you can just type in a new name on the fly to create a new category. These fields also have other uses. For example, you can sort by category in the recently used file list. If I turn on category, and also in the HexEdit Explorer, if I turn on the category column, where is it? Now if I put some comments in and close this file, I don't want to save those changes, then I reopen the file, you can see that the comments and category are restored. You may be wondering where this information is stored. Is it in the registry or perhaps in an alternate data stream like the way Word sometimes stores properties? Actually, it's stored in the recently used file list file. This is where HexEdit stores all the information about files that have been opened, including formatting, highlights, etc. If you delete the entry from the file, you'll lose all this information. So if I then go and reopen the file, you can see that the category and comments have been lost. That's about it for this video. I'll talk more about these other pages in the next video.